Hannah Lee sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the letter in her hands. Her heart raced as she read the words again. She had been chosen. Out of thousands of applicants, the Dashan aliens had picked her for their cultural exchange program. "Mom, Dad, come quick," she called out, her voice shaking with excitement. Her parents rushed into the small bedroom, worry turning to relief when they saw her smile. Her younger brother Du Yun peeked in from the hallway. "I got in. The Dashan picked me." Hannah waved the letter with its strange, shimmering seal. Her mother's face showed both pride and fear. "My daughter, going to the stars." She sat beside Hannah and held her hand tightly. For 20 years, the Dashan had been Earth's first alien contact. Tall, with skin like polished stone, they came with promises of knowledge and friendship. Each year, they selected a small group of humans for their exchange program. Those chosen were special, they said. Those with exceptional qualities. Hannah's father crossed his arms. 19 is too young to go so far away. "Dad, people my age rarely get picked. This is my chance. I'll learn so much, and when I come back, I can help Earth." Hannah stood up, her dark eyes bright with dreams of adventure. Du Yun finally spoke up. "Will you bring me back something alien, Hannah? Something cool." She ruffled his hair. "The coolest thing you've ever seen. I promise." 3 days later, Hannah stood in line at the Global Exchange Center. 12 other humans waited with her, young people from different countries, all looking nervous and excited. Hannah clutched her small bag of personal items. The Dashan provided everything else. A Dashan official named Mock approached her. His stone-like skin had a blue-green color that caught the light as he moved. "Hannah Lee," he said, his voice like smooth water. "Your test results were remarkable. You have strength of mind and body that we rarely see." "Thank you," Hannah replied, bowing slightly. "I'm honored to be chosen." Mock's large eyes studied her face. Something in his look made her uneasy. Was it sadness? Guilt? But his words remained kind. "The journey will take 21 Earth days. You will see our home world, Caritas, and learn our ways. It will change you." He paused. "It will change everything." Hannah nodded, not fully understanding his meaning. "I'm ready for change." Mock seemed about to say more, then stopped himself. "Your family is here to say goodbye." Hannah turned to see her parents and Du Yun waiting nearby. Her mother held a small wooden box. "Mom, Dad, Du Yun." Hannah ran to them, suddenly feeling like a child again. Her father hugged her tightly. "Remember who you are," he whispered. "Remember where you come from." Her mother pressed the wooden box into her hands. "Your grandmother's necklace. Keep it close." Hannah opened the box. Inside lay a simple jade pendant on a silver chain. She put it on, tucking it under her shirt where it felt cool against her skin. Du Yun hugged her last. "Don't forget my alien thing." "I won't forget anything," Hannah promised, fighting back tears. As Hannah walked toward the Dashan ship, she looked back one last time. Her family stood together, waving. Other families did the same for their chosen ones. Some cried openly. Some looked proud. All looked afraid. Inside the ship, Hannah found her seat. The walls glowed with soft light. Strange symbols flowed across screens. As the door closed, she felt both excitement and fear rise inside her. A boy about her age sat nearby. His name tag read Jeho. He gave her a small nod. "First time leaving Earth?" he asked quietly. "Yes," Hannah replied. "You?" "Yes. I'm not sure what to expect." Hannah looked out a small window as the ship began to rise. "Something amazing, I hope." Neither noticed Mock watching them from the doorway. His large eyes filled with what humans would call regret. The Dashan ship left Earth behind, becoming a tiny dot in the blackness of space. Hannah pressed her face to the window until she could no longer see her home planet. Her stomach felt light as the ship picked up speed. "They say it gets easier after the first day," said a voice beside her. Hannah turned to see Jeho. the boy she had met earlier. He had short black hair and careful eyes that seemed to notice everything. "I'm not feeling sick," Hannah said. "Just strange." Jaiho nodded. Strange is the right word for all of this. The inside of the ship was beautiful but odd. The walls seemed alive, changing colors with the mood of the room. The air smelled like rain and something sweet Hannah could not name. A Dacian crew member named Lek showed the humans to their sleeping areas. Each person had a small room with a bed that molded to their body shape. "Rest now," Lek said. "Tomorrow we begin teaching you about Caritas." Days passed slowly on the ship. Each morning, the humans gathered in a large room where the Dacian taught them about their world. They learned simple words in the Dacian language and basic facts about Caritas. "Caritas has 3 moons and a sun larger than Earth's," the teacher said. "The air is safe for humans to breathe, but the gravity is slightly stronger. You will feel heavier there." Hannah took careful notes, but she noticed something odd. The Dacian never talked about what the humans would actually do on Caritas. When she asked about the exchange program's purpose, the teachers would only say it was a great honor and very important for relations between our worlds. After 5 days in space, Hannah found Jaiho sitting alone in the viewing room, watching stars pass by. "May I join you?" she asked. Jaiho moved over to make room. "Have you noticed anything strange about our lessons?" Hannah sat down. "They don't tell us much about what we'll be doing." "Exactly," Jaiho said, his voice dropping to a whisper. "And have you seen how some of them look at us? Like they feel sorry for us." Hannah thought of Mock's sad eyes when he first met her. Maybe they're just different from us. It's hard to read alien faces. Jaiho shook his head. "I've been watching them. Last night, I couldn't sleep, so I walked around. I heard 2 Dacian talking. When they saw me, they stopped right away." "What were they saying?" "I'm not sure, but I heard the word Vosht. It's not a word they taught us." Hannah felt a small chill. "Maybe it's nothing." "Maybe," Jaiho said. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small metal object. "Look what I found in the trash bin near the engine room." The object was a small tool, shaped like a pen but with a glowing tip. "What is it?" Hannah asked. "Some kind of repair tool, I think. I figured out how to turn it on." Jaiho pressed a hidden button, and the tip glowed brighter. "It might be useful to keep." "You shouldn't take their things," Hannah said, but she was impressed by his boldness. "Something doesn't feel right, Hannah. I'm just being careful." By the second week, Hannah was beginning to share Jaiho's worries. The Dacian crew whispered when they thought the humans weren't looking. Once, Hannah saw a crew member quickly wipe away a tear after talking to one of the younger humans. During a meal, Hannah sat next to a quiet girl named Sun. As they ate the strange but tasty Dacian food, Mock approached their table. "Are you enjoying the journey?" he asked. "Yes, thank you," Hannah replied. "But I'm curious about something. What will we be doing on Caritas? Will we meet important people? Learn at your schools?" Mock's skin changed color slightly, darkening around his neck. "You will meet very important beings. You were chosen because you are special." "Special how?" Hannah pressed. "Strong, clever, adaptable." Mock looked around as if checking who might hear him. "Humans are different from other species we have encountered. That is why we chose your kind." Before Hannah could ask more, Mock walked away quickly. That night, Hannah lay in her bed, touching her grandmother's jade necklace. Something in Mock's words bothered her. "Other species we have encountered. Were there other aliens besides the Dacian? And why did being different make humans special?" As she drifted to sleep, the ship hummed around her, carrying her closer to answers she might not want to find. After 21 days in space, the Dacian ship finally reached Caritas. Hannah looked out the window at the new world. It had vast blue oceans and land that glowed with strange, bright colors. 3 small moons hung in the sky like watchful eyes. "It's beautiful," she whispered. Jaiho stood beside her. Beautiful, but something still feels wrong. As the ship landed, the humans were told to gather their few belongings. Hannah touched her grandmother's jade necklace for comfort. The Dashan led them to a large room where they would exit the ship. "You will now be taken to your assigned areas," said Lek, their guide. "Each of you has a different path." "Different path?" Hannah asked. "I thought we were staying together." Lek would not meet her eyes. That was never the plan. Before Hannah could protest, the humans were split into groups. She lost sight of Jeho as she was led away with 3 others. They boarded a small flying craft that took off quickly, heading toward a distant mountain range. "Where are we going?" Hannah asked the Dashan pilot. "A special facility," was all he would say. The facility sat alone in a valley, surrounded by tall walls. As Hannah was led inside, she noticed there were no windows. The building felt more like a prison than a welcome center. A Dashan female took Hannah to a small room with only a bed and a strange machine in the corner. "Rest now," the female said. "Tomorrow is an important day." "What happens tomorrow?" Hannah asked. The Dashan turned away. "Someone will explain." Left alone, Hannah tried the door. It was locked. Fear began to rise in her chest. This was not what she had expected. This was not an exchange program. Hours later, the door opened. Hannah was surprised to see Mok enter. "I need to speak with you," he said, his voice low. "We don't have much time." "What's going on?" Hannah demanded. "Why am I locked in here?" Mok's skin changed color, darkening with what seemed like shame. "I must tell you the truth. You were not brought here for cultural exchange." Hannah's heart sank. "Then why?" "The Dashan are not the only species in this part of space. We share this system with the Vosht." Mok looked at the floor. "They are predators. Powerful hunters who once ruled over many worlds. What does that have to do with me?" "Long ago, the Dashan made a deal with the Vosht. Instead of being their prey, we would provide them with other prey. Every 10 years, we must give them specimens from various worlds." Morning came too quickly. Hannah had not slept much, her mind filled with fear and plans. When the door opened, 2 Dashan guards stood waiting. "It is time," one said. They gave her a small bag with water, a knife, and some food that would last maybe 2 days. Hannah slipped Mok's device into her pocket where the guards couldn't see it. She also made sure her grandmother's jade necklace was hidden under her clothes. The guards led her to a flying vehicle. As they flew over the landscape, Hannah saw how wild and strange Caritas was. Forests with purple trees stretched for miles. Rocky mountains rose sharply from the ground. Rivers of blue-green water cut through valleys. "This is the hunting ground," said the pilot. "You will be released here." The vehicle landed in a small clearing. One guard opened the door. "You have a 10-minute head start before the hunter is released," he said without looking at her. "Use it wisely." Hannah stepped out onto the alien soil. The gravity was stronger here, just as they had been told. She felt heavier, her movements slower. "Wait," she said to the guards. "How many days does the hunt last?" "Until it ends," one replied coldly. The door closed, and the vehicle rose into the air, leaving her alone. Hannah didn't waste a second. She ran toward the forest, ignoring the heaviness in her legs. Once under the trees, she pulled out Mok's device. The screen lit up, showing a map of the area. A blinking dot showed her position. Red areas marked dangerous zones. Blue spots might be safe places. 10 minutes, Hannah whispered to herself. Not much time. She ran deeper into the forest, looking for a place to hide and think. The trees had smooth bark and leaves that seemed to turn toward her as she passed. The air smelled sweet but strange. After running for what felt like hours but was only minutes, Hannah found a fallen tree with a space underneath. She crawled inside, trying to slow her breathing. From her hiding spot, she could see in all directions. "Think, Hannah," she told herself. "What would Dad do?" Her father had taken her hiking in the mountains since she was a child. He had taught her how to survive, how to read the land. This was not Earth, but maybe some of those lessons would help. A loud horn sounded in the distance. Hannah's heart jumped. The 10 minutes were up. The hunt had begun. She checked Muck's device again. There was a new dot on the screen now, moving quickly from where she had been dropped off. The hunter, the Vosht. Hannah had never seen a Vosht, but she imagined a monster, something with claws and teeth. She shivered. "Stay calm," she whispered. "Fear makes you sloppy." Another lesson from her father. Hannah studied the map. About 2 miles away was a blue spot, a safe area, but to reach it, she would have to cross open ground. Too dangerous now. Better to stay hidden and move at night. As she waited, Hannah noticed the device had more functions than just a map. She pressed a button, and words appeared. Translator active. Another button showed, local biology. Hannah pressed it and saw information about plants and animals in the hunting grounds. Some plants were safe to eat. Others were poisonous. Some could even be used as medicine. This might keep me alive, she thought. A cracking sound nearby made her freeze. Through the leaves, Hannah saw something moving. Tall, at least 7 feet, with smooth gray skin. It had 4 arms and a face with no nose, just slits where a nose would be. Its eyes were large and black, scanning the forest floor. This was Tech, the Vosht hunter. On his belt hung what looked like trophies, small objects that Hannah didn't want to think about. Hannah held her breath as the hunter moved closer to her hiding spot. She pressed herself into the dirt, hoping the fallen tree would hide her scent. The Vosht stopped, lifted his head, and made a clicking sound. Then he spoke into a device on his wrist. Hannah's translator picked up the words. "The hunt begins. This one will not last long." They never do. Hannah gripped her small knife, her knuckles white. "We'll see about that," she thought. For 3 days, Hannah played a deadly game of hide and seek with the Vosht hunter. She moved only at night, when the strange moons of Caritas cast long shadows that helped hide her. During the day, she found places to sleep, inside hollow trees, under rock shelves, once even underwater, breathing through a hollow reed she found. The Vosht was always close, too close. He could track her by smell and had devices that could find her heat trail. Twice she had barely escaped, running until her lungs burned in the heavy gravity of this world. On the 3rd day, Hannah was growing weak. Her food was almost gone. She had found some safe plants to eat, but they did not give her much energy. Her muscles ached from constant movement and the stronger gravity. "I can't keep running," she thought as she crouched behind a rock. "I need to find a better way." According to Muck's device, there was a large blue area about a mile away, a place the Vosht might not go. With the last of her strength, Hannah moved toward it. The blue area turned out to be a series of rocky cliffs with many small caves. As Hannah climbed toward them, she noticed something strange about the rocks. They seemed to give off a faint humming sound when touched. "Maybe this is why the Vosht don't come here," she thought. Hannah found a cave entrance partly hidden by hanging vines. She pushed through and stepped into darkness. Using a small light function on Muck's device, she moved deeper into the cave. The walls glittered with strange crystals that caught the light. The floor sloped down, taking her underground. After walking for several minutes, the narrow passage opened into a larger cave. Hannah gasped. The cave was filled with the same crystals, but larger ones. They gave off their own faint blue light. And in the center of the cave was something she never expected to see, a small camp with human items. "Hello," she called softly, her hand on her knife. Something moved in the shadows. A figure stepped into the blue light of the crystals. "Hannah," said a familiar voice. "Jeho." Hannah rushed forward, relief washing over her. "You're alive." Jeho looked different, thinner, with dirt on his face and a small cut above his eye. But he was smiling. "How did you find these caves?" he asked. Mok gave me a device that showed safe areas. How did you escape? Jai-Ho showed her the tool he had taken from the Dashin ship. I used this to open my transport door. Then I ran. He pointed to the cave around them. I found this place on the first day. The Vosht won't come in here. Why not? The crystals, Jai-Ho said. They give off a sound. We can barely hear it, but I think it hurts the Vosht. Watch this. Jai-Ho took a small crystal and struck it against another. A high, clear tone rang out, almost too high for Hana to hear. I've been studying them, he said, and I've been studying the Vosht too. I caught glimpses of one from hiding. Jai-Ho showed her a space deeper in the cave where he had been working. He had drawn pictures of the Vosht on the wall with charcoal and had made simple weapons from sticks and stones. Look at the Vosht's head, Jai-Ho said, pointing to his drawing. See those slits where ears would be on a human? I think they hear differently than we do. And when I was escaping, the Vosht that was chasing me stopped when I dropped a metal cup. It made a high sound, and the Vosht seemed to be in pain. Hana suddenly remembered something. My brother Du-Yun had a device for training our neighbor's dog. It made a sound too high for humans to hear, but dogs could hear it. It kept them from barking. Jai-Ho's eyes widened. That's it. The Vosht must be able to hear higher frequencies than humans, and those frequencies cause them pain. Hana pulled out Mok's device. Can we use this to make such a sound? Maybe, Jai-Ho said, examining it. I've been working with the Dashin technology I took. If we combine it with these crystals. For the first time in 3 days, Hana felt hope. We could turn the hunters into the hunted. Jai-Ho nodded, his face serious but excited. Exactly. It's time to show the Vosht that humans are not easy prey. For 2 days, Hana and Jai-Ho worked without stopping. They took turns keeping watch while the others slept. Together, they built a weapon from their discovery. Hold this crystal, Jai-Ho said, carefully fitting it into Mok's device. I think I've almost got it. Hana held the blue crystal steady. Jai-Ho had taken apart both Mok's device and his stolen Dashin tool. Now he was putting them back together in a new way, with the crystal as the power source. What if it doesn't work? Hana asked. It will work, Jai-Ho said. The science is simple. The crystal makes a sound that hurts the Vosht but not us. This device will make that sound louder and stronger. Just as Jai-Ho finished his work, the cave entrance grew dark. Someone was coming in. Hana grabbed a sharp stick they had made into a spear. Jai-Ho picked up a rock. Hello, called a voice. I mean no harm. Mok stepped into the cave, his hands empty to show he carried no weapons. Hana kept her spear pointed at him. Why are you here? She demanded. To help, Mok said, and to tell you news. You and Jai-Ho have survived longer than any prey in Vosht hunting history. The Vosht are angry. They are changing the rules. What rules? Jai-Ho asked. Normally, only 1 hunter is allowed for each prey. But now they will send 3 hunters after you. Hana lowered her spear slightly. Why are you helping us? Mok's skin changed color, showing his feelings. Because you have given us hope. For thousands of years, the Dashin have lived in fear of the Vosht. We have sent them prey to save ourselves. But no prey has ever fought back like humans. Mok reached into a bag he carried and pulled out food, water, and a small round object. This is a sensor, he explained. It will tell you when a Vosht is near. And I have more news. 3 other humans are still alive. They are hiding in different parts of the hunting grounds. Hana and Jai-Ho looked at each other in surprise. Who? Hana asked. Their names are Ta, Sun, and Yuna, Mok said. The male, Tai, was an engineering student on your world. He has been making traps for the Vosht. The 2 females are staying together. They found a way to cover their scent with local plants. Jai-Ho held up the device he had built. We found a weakness in the Vosht. They can't stand high-frequency sounds. Mock's eyes widened. This is valuable knowledge. May I see? Hana nodded, and Jeho showed him the device. Brilliant, Mock said. Simple but effective. We should share this with the other humans. Can you take us to them? Hana asked. Mock shook his head. Too dangerous. The Vosht are watching me. But I can give you a map. He pressed buttons on the sensor, and a new map appeared, showing 3 dots. These are their locations. Before Hana could ask more questions, a loud sound came from outside the cave, a horn blowing 3 times. The new hunters are being released, Mock said with fear in his voice. I must go before they find me here. Wait, Jeho said. Are there any Dashan who would help us besides you? More than you know, Mock replied. Many Dashan are watching what happens here. If humans can stand against the Vosht, perhaps we can too, one day. After Mock left, Hana and Jeho tested their sound device. When activated, it made a noise so high that they could barely hear it, but they knew the Vosht would feel it like a knife in their ears. We should set traps, Hana said. Places where the Vosht will go, with these devices waiting. Jeho nodded. And then we find the others. Together we'll be stronger. Hana looked at the map Mock had given them. The closest is Ta. He's about 5 miles from here. Then we move tonight, Jeho said. The resistance begins now. Hana touched her grandmother's jade necklace. The Vosht thought they were hunting us. Now we hunt them. Traveling at night through the alien forest was dangerous. Hana and Jeho moved slowly, stopping often to check for signs of the Vosht hunters. They had set 3 sound traps near their cave, each one using a crystal attached to a tripwire. I hope they work, Hana whispered as they crossed a small stream. The water glowed faintly blue in the moonlight. They will, Jeho said. And even if they don't stop the Vosht, they will hurt them. That's something no prey has ever done before. They followed Mock's map toward the location of Tai, the engineering student. According to the map, he was hiding in a rocky area about 5 miles from their cave. By sunrise, they had covered half the distance. We need to hide for the day, Hana said, looking for a safe spot. Jeho pointed to a large tree with thick, low branches. Up there, the Vosht are tall but heavy. They won't climb well. They climbed the tree and tied themselves to the trunk with vines so they wouldn't fall while sleeping. Hana took the first watch while Jeho slept. From her high perch, she could see far across the hunting grounds. In the distance, something large moved through the trees. A Vosht hunter. Then she saw another one moving in a different direction. The hunters were spreading out to find them. When night fell again, they continued their journey. As they got closer to Ta's location, they noticed strange marks on the trees, small cuts in patterns. These are human-made, Jeho said, touching one of the marks. Warning signs, maybe. Or directions, Hana suggested. They followed the marks until they reached a circle of large rocks. Everything was quiet, too quiet. No sounds of night creatures, no wind in the leaves. Hana sensed danger. Something's wrong. Suddenly, a net made of vines fell from above, trapping them both. They struggled to get free as a figure stepped out from behind a rock, holding a spear made from a sharpened branch. Stop moving, or I'll hurt you, said a young man's voice in Korean. Ta, Hana called out. We're human, Jeho and Hana from Earth. The figure moved closer, his face becoming clear in the moonlight. He was thin and dirty, with wild eyes, but definitely human. How do I know you're not working with the hunters? He asked suspiciously. We escaped them. Like you, Jeho said. Mock told us where to find you. Ta lowered his spear slightly. The Dashan with blue-green skin. He brought me food 2 days ago. That's him, Hana said. Please let us go. We found a way to hurt the Vosht. Ta cut them free from the net. Sorry for the trap. I set dozens all over this area. Caught a Vosht in one yesterday. Hana stared at him in shock. You caught a Vosht. What happened? It freed itself before I could do anything, Tai admitted. But it was hurt. It makes them careful now. They fear these woods. Jai-Ho showed Ta their sound device. The Vosht can't stand high-frequency sounds. We can use this against them. Tai's eyes lit up with excitement. I was studying engineering before they took me. I can help make more of these. He showed them his hiding place, a small cave hidden behind a waterfall. Inside were tools he had made and parts he had taken from the Vosht hunter's equipment. We need to find the others, Hana said. Sun and Yuna. Ta nodded. I met Sun once. She was gathering plants near my area. She knows which ones mask human scent. We're stronger together, Jai-Ho said. We need all the human skills we can get. That night, the three humans made plans. Ta would build more sound devices using Jai-Ho's design. Hana would use Mok's map to find Sun and Yuna. They would meet again in 3 days. As Hana prepared to leave, Ta said, "Be careful. The main hunter, the one called Tech, is angry. I heard him talking to the others. No prey has ever lasted this long or fought back." Hana thought of all the other beings who had died in these hunting grounds. We're not prey. We're human, and we're going to make sure the Vosht never forget that. 5 days later, 5 humans gathered in the crystal cave. Hana had found Sun and Yuna hiding in a swampy area where they had covered themselves with mud and plants to hide their scent. Both women were thin but strong. Sun knew which plants could heal wounds and which ones could make the Vosht's sensitive noses useless. Yuna had been a runner on Earth and could move quickly even in Caridus's heavy gravity. We all survived for different reasons, Hana said as they sat in a circle. Now we use those skills together. They shared what they had learned about the Vosht. The hunters were strong and had good senses, but they also had weaknesses. They couldn't climb well. They hated water. And most importantly, they couldn't stand the high sounds from the crystals. They're also proud, Tai added. They've never failed a hunt before. Now they're angry and making mistakes. Jai-Ho showed everyone the sound devices he and Ta had built. We have 5 now. 1 for each of us. Hana pulled out Mok's map. The Vosht have a camp here, in this valley. That's where Tech, the lead hunter, goes to rest and plan. How do you know this? Sun asked. Mok told me, Hana replied. More Dashin are helping us now. They're watching what happens. They want to see if we can beat the Vosht. Yuna spoke up. So what's our plan? We can't just keep running and hiding. We attack, Hana said simply. We set a trap for the hunters. For hours, they planned their trap. Ta drew diagrams in the dirt. Each person would play a part using their special skills. By morning, they were ready. The next day, Hana stood alone in a small clearing. She was bait. Her heart raced as she waited. The others were hidden nearby, ready for their parts in the plan. A twig snapped in the forest. Hana turned to see Tech, the main Vosht hunter, step into the clearing. He was even taller than she remembered, with muscles that moved like snakes under his gray skin. Around his neck hung small objects, trophies from past hunts. Finally, Tech said in his deep voice. Hana's translator picked up his words. You have given good sport, human, but the hunt ends now. Does it? Hana asked, trying to sound brave. Tech tilted his head. You speak without fear. Interesting. Most prey beg at the end. I'm not prey, Hana said. I'm human. We're different. So I have seen, Tech admitted. No species has lasted this long or fought back. But it changes nothing. You will die, and I will take a trophy. Hana touched her grandmother's jade necklace. Not today. She raised her hand and gave a signal. Instantly, Sun and Yuna stepped out from hiding places on either side of the clearing. They threw handfuls of crushed red plants that filled the air with a strong smell. Tech roared as the scent hit his sensitive nose. As he stumbled backward, Tai triggered a trap from his hiding place. A net made of strong vines fell over the Vosht hunter. Tech tore at it, but the vines were coated with sticky sap that clung to his hands. Jai-Ho stepped forward last, holding the largest sound device they had built. It contained 3 crystals instead of 1. Now, Hana shouted. Jai-Ho activated the device. A high-pitched sound filled the air. To the humans, it was barely noticeable, but to Tech, it was torture. He fell to his knees, his 4 hands covering the slits where his ears were. His scream was so loud that birds flew from the trees. 2 more Vosht hunters rushed into the clearing to help Tech. Hana, Sun, Yuma, and Tai all activated their own sound devices. The effect was immediate. The hunters writhed in pain, unable to stand. Hana walked slowly toward Tech, who was now on the ground. She held her device near his face. "Listen carefully," she said. "The hunt is over, not just for me, but for all your prey. Go back to your people and tell them what happened here today. Tell them the humans are not for hunting." Tech stared at her with his black eyes. For the first time, Hana saw something new there. Fear. News of what happened in the hunting ground spread quickly across Caritas. Mok and other Dashan who had secretly helped the humans shared recordings of the confrontation. For the first time in thousands of years, prey had defeated hunters. The Vosht had retreated, carrying their wounded leader Tech away. 3 days after the confrontation, a large Dashan ship landed near the Crystal Caves. Mok stepped out with several important-looking Dashan officials. "Hana," Mok called. "It is safe to come out. Everything has changed." Hana and the other humans emerged carefully from their hiding place. They still carried their sound devices, ready to use them if needed. "What has happened?" Hana asked. Mok's skin glowed with excitement. "The Vosht High Council has called for talks. They wish to meet the humans who defeated their best hunters." "Is it a trap?" Jai-Ho asked, still suspicious. One of the Dashan officials stepped forward. "No trap. The Vosht are shaken. No prey has ever fought back before. No prey has ever won. And now many Dashan are refusing to provide more sacrifices. Your victory has started something new." Hana looked at her friends. They were dirty, thin, and tired, but they stood tall. "We will meet with them," she decided, "but we keep our weapons." 2 days later, Hana stood before the Vosht High Council in their great hall. The 5 humans were clean now, wearing new clothes provided by the Dashan, but each still carried a sound device. The head of the council was older and larger than Tech. His gray skin was marked with symbols of power. "Never before has prey defeated hunters," he said, his deep voice filling the hall. "You have done the impossible." "We are not prey," Hana said clearly. "Humans are not for hunting. No species should be hunted for sport." The council leader studied her. "You fought well. You showed intelligence, cooperation, and courage. These are qualities the Vosht respect. Then respect us as equals," Hana said, "not as animals to be hunted." After long talks, an agreement was reached. The Vosht would end their hunting of intelligent species. The Dashan would no longer provide sacrifices, and humans would be recognized as equals in the galactic community. Mok explained what this meant to Hana. "Your people will now be invited to join the Interstellar Alliance. Earth will no longer be kept in the dark about other worlds." "We want to go home," Hana said, speaking for all 5 survivors. "We need to tell our people what happened here." 3 weeks later, the Dashan ship landed on Earth. Hana stepped out first, followed by Jai-Ho, Ta, Sun, and Yuna. They were greeted by Earth officials and their families. Hana ran to her parents and brother, hugging them tightly. "I kept my promise," she told Du-Yun, placing a small crystal in his hand. "Something cool from space." "Did you have an adventure?" he asked, eyes wide. "Yes," she said, "one that changed everything." In the months that followed, Earth learned about the wider universe. Representatives from many worlds came to meet the species that had stood up to the Vosht. The 5 survivors became ambassadors, helping humans understand their new place among the stars. 1 year after her return, Hannah stood on a platform before the United Nations. Beside her were Mach, representing the Dashan, and surprisingly, Tech, the hunter she had defeated. "The old way is over," Tech announced to the gathered humans. "The Vosht have learned that true strength is not just in physical power. You humans taught us that compassion, cooperation, and intelligence are greater strengths." Hannah touched her grandmother's jade necklace as she looked out at the crowd. "1 year ago, I was taken as a sacrifice. But what happened changed not just my life, but the lives of beings across many worlds. It showed that even the smallest and weakest can stand against the strongest when they use their minds and work together." She smiled at Du Yun in the front row. "And it showed that humans are different. We don't give up. We adapt. We survive. And sometimes, we change everything."